Most people don't realize that vanilla comes from an orchid, and today I'm going to show you how to make real vanilla extract at home while we talk about the fascinating history of this orchid. Now I have a batch of vanilla extract and I just made a bunch of baked goods, and so I'm running kind of low on this, and I thought it'd be cool to share the history while I make it. It takes about 6 months for this to really mature, sometimes sooner depending on how you prepare it, but I'm going to walk you right through it. But if you make it now, you'll have plenty for when the holidays come, and you'll have a wonderful flavor, and it'll be better than anything you can get in the store. A lot of stuff is artificial. This is the real deal, and you can make it pretty strong, and it's gonna taste amazing. What you're gonna need are vanilla beans. A glass jar would be ideal. If it's dark, that's great, but you don't need to have a dark jar. You could just keep it in a cool, dark pantry, and that's just fine. And a sharp knife to split them. That'll accelerate the process of getting all of the flavor out. Now, you could use vodka or dark rum or bourbon. I used bourbon for this and it was amazing, but I'm gonna use vodka. It leaves the most neutral flavor. You can also use brandy. And then to make the vanilla, I like to use about 6 to 8 vanilla pods per 8 ounces of water. Just to keep it easy, I'm gonna use 8 per 8 ounces of water. I'll probably do a larger batch of 16 and a smaller batch of 8 ounces. I'm gonna use these Madagascar vanilla beans, and I'm gonna split them lengthwise before putting them into the jar. If you chop it up smaller, it'll make the extraction a lot faster as well. So you could split them lengthwise and split them in half, and that'll give more surface area for the alcohol to extract. And then more of the flavors will infuse into the oil a lot faster. You don't have to split it. I just split it halfway, not lengthwise, but it took about 6 months for this to fully mature, and it has an incredible flavor. And I'd say that vodka is the most common choice because it leaves the flavor more neutral, as I was saying. But again, bourbon, it tastes amazing, especially when you're baking. Dark rum, aged rum is amazing. You don't have to use anything fancy if you're using vodka. You could use something that's, you don't want to use something that's top shelf. The whole purpose is to get the flavor out of these vanilla beans. You don't want to use flavored vodka, just plain. And then, as I said, the longer it sits, the stronger it gets. So let's get right to it and start preparing this while I walk you through the history of this orchid. All right, so we have our vanilla here. It smells incredible. I have 2 jars. I just used some honey jars here, some vodka, and a measuring cup, as well as a sharp knife. Let's get started. All right, so we're gonna split these pods open, and then I think I'm gonna split them in half. And this is gonna give more flavor to our vanilla extract. This smells incredible, guys. So we're gonna open this up. And if you wanted, you could squeeze some of these beans out for anything you need. But these are just so good. So I'm gonna split them lengthwise, and then I'm gonna split them in half once we're done. But like I was mentioning, you could use vodka, you can use rum. Rum, especially dark rum, gives a sweeter flavor. It gives like a molasses note and like a tropical feel. So in case you're baking something later on, it'll give that flavor. It's quite nice. Brandy also works here. That's not used as commonly, but it can be used if you like the flavor of brandy. It's very fruity, warm, and complex. And then legally recognized of pure vanilla extract, it must be a 35% alcohol minimum. So if you use a lower alcohol spirit, it's technically an infusion and not an extract. So vanilla comes from the genus Vanilla planifolia. So it's a climbing tropical orchid vine. And it's native to parts of Mexico and Central America. And it was first cultivated and used by the indigenous people in Mexico, especially the Teutonic people. And then later, the Aztecs used vanilla to flavor cacao drinks. Vanilla was introduced to Europe by the Spanish after contact with Mexico. So vanilla could only be successfully pollinated in Mexico. There's a bee specifically that pollinates this orchid. And when Europeans tried to grow it, when they brought it back, they didn't have success. The vines grew, the flowers bloomed, but no vanilla beans formed. And let me tell you about that flower. It's very short-lived. So if you don't have the pollinator to flower it right away, you're not going to get these vanilla bean pods. There was a big turning point in the 1800s. In 1841, Edmond Albius discovered a practical hand pollination method for vanilla orchids, and it changed everything for vanilla. So vanilla flowers only open up for one day, so that gives us very limited time to make sure that they get pollinated and so that they can produce these pods. Each flower must be pollinated by hand outside of the region where this grows in Mexico. So that makes vanilla very labor intensive. Vanilla is the second most expensive flavor. I believe the first one is saffron, but this is really, really labor intensive, and that explains why vanilla is so expensive. I mean, honestly, what you get out in the supermarkets a lot of times is vanilla flavor, not pure vanilla extract. So you have to look out for that when you're getting vanilla. A lot of it is not even real. So by making it on your own, you can save money and you can get something that tastes really, really good. So every vanilla bean that you buy represents an enormous amount of human labor. I think I got these for about $20. I'll put the price down below for what I paid for these 26 pods. I ended up getting 27. They sold 26 to me. Madagascar is now the world's largest producer of vanilla, and the region's climate works extremely well for vanilla cultivation. And all of the vanilla there is pollinated by hand, and that's because they don't have the bees that are found in Mexico where this is found in the wild. Most commercial vanilla, including this vanilla you see right here, comes from Madagascar. Madagascar vanilla is rich, creamy, and the classic vanilla flavor that most people recognize. Tahitian vanilla is more floral, and Mexican vanilla is a little bit spicier and a little smokier. Even though vanilla is native to Mexico, Madagascar created a large industry for this, scaling it widely, and they've become the leader in production of vanilla. Now, vanilla vines can grow extremely long. They climb trees in nature. I actually tried growing vanilla. I was not very successful. You can grow it, but it's very difficult to get those seed pods, as I mentioned. They normally grow with very warm temperatures and very high humidity. It's very difficult for me to get those conditions indoors. If any of my viewers grow vanilla at home, drop your experience down below. Let me know if you've been able to flower it. Once you've had vanilla for a few years, it can then flower, but the flowers are very, very short-lived. Once you get the vanilla flower, you have to immediately hand pollinate it or you won't be able to get these vanilla pods. So we're gonna split this up. This smells incredible. I use this for making cookies, baking cakes. I add it anytime I need vanilla extract. It is so incredible. It's very different from using that imitation stuff. And it's really easy. You don't have to split this up, these pods up, but I like to do it because it gives more surface area and it makes it faster for the flavor to extract from these vanilla beans. These are the vanilla seeds if you want to scoop them out. We're gonna cut this. I'm gonna cut these in half for even more surface area. In fact, I may cut it again. Okay. We're gonna do 8 ounces in this container here, so I put the equivalent, I put about 10 here, so it'll be a little bit of a stronger flavor. Then we're gonna add 8 ounces of vodka. The rest of this I'm gonna put in the larger container. It's gonna be more than I planned, but it's just gonna lead to a stronger flavor. I ended up adding about 10 ounces here because we used more vanilla beans for this one. We're gonna close it up, and then you're gonna move it around every few days, every week if you can at minimum. And in a few weeks, you're gonna start seeing this change color. It's gonna darken. And in about 6 months, you're gonna have a really deep flavor. But since I opened it up and chopped them up, I wouldn't be surprised if this is ready within 3 months. I'm gonna prepare the last one. We're gonna do 16 ounces for this one. We probably have the equivalent of more though. This should be good. We added 10 to that one, so this one has 16 or 17. So I'm gonna keep this ratio of 16 ounces. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna close it tightly. And that's it. You wanna move it around every week or so. If you can, every few days, it'll help it. And in just a few weeks, you're gonna start seeing this darken. I estimate in about 3 months it'll be ready. Maybe sooner because like I said, we split it open and we chopped them up. So there's a lot of surface area here. But in 6 months, this is gonna be amazing. It's gonna smell really good. We're all done. If you've ever made vanilla at home, let me know down below. This stuff tastes way better than anything you can get at the store. You can make it stronger. If you want to double the concentration, you can. Then you'll get a really, really strong vanilla. But from my experience, this stuff tastes incredible in chocolate chip cookies, in cakes, even in drinks that I make that I want like a vanilla flavor. Just in a few weeks, this stuff is gonna darken. I think it'll be ready in about 3 months because I cut everything up and there's more surface area exposed. A key tip is to make sure that it's submerged. You don't want it outside of the alcohol for too long. I used a lot of my old vanilla and a lot of it was exposed, so I just got new vanilla. If it's covered, it'll ensure that no mold will take over the batch. And then if you wanted to, you can make multiple batches or you can do a larger jar. And as it's going down, you can add a little bit of vodka or the same liquor that you use just to top it off and add like a vanilla pot or two. And then you can pour it into another one. That way, as this matures, you can have like a mother jar full of vanilla. And then once it's matured after like 6 months, let's say once it's at maximal flavor, you could dump some of it out in a new container, add a few new pods of vanilla, top it off, and repeat the process. That way you always have vanilla. I have to wait a while for now, but this will be ready before we know it. And I wanted to make sure that I had some before the holidays, as I tend to bake quite a bit. I'm gonna make cookies, I'm gonna make cakes and stuff. So this one is for me and this one is for my family. And I like to use these honey jars. They're just nice and easy. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you've ever made this or if you're gonna give it a try. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye, everyone.